and welcome to Andy with the Spanners. Now today, just for a change, we're working on a car rather than on a bike. And if you happen to have an older Mercedes, then one of the common problems with older Mercedes is that the steering wheel switches get to be a bit tacky and sticky. There's a coating on them from the factory which leaves them a bit gunky. Now if you trawl around the internet, you'll find lots of different options, one of which is suggesting that you can use a non-sugar sort of diet Coke or lemonade, because it's that fizz in it that helps to remove the coating. So we're going to give that a go today. So I've got some diet lemonade in a bottle, and I've got a cleaning cloth, and I have here a Mercedes with some really kind of horrible sticky tacky buttons, so not very good. So let's give it a go. Let's get the it's one of these silly ones with the lid that doesn't want to come off. We'll soon fix that out of the way. Okay, let's see if that works. So we'll get plenty of lemonade on that and give it a go. I'm going to wedge the steering wheel with my knees to stop it from moving. In theory, the lemonade is supposed to lift all of that sticky horribleness. The fizz in the lemonade is supposed to attack the sticky stuff, and well, we're going to find out for certain whether that really is working or not, as to whether or not we get the sticky off. So let's have a go at these button areas here where there's some I think you can see how bright that white arrow is now compared to the other symbols. So it's definitely doing something. I think the key to it is not to have too much lemonade so it doesn't drip down all over your trousers and everywhere. Now I have seen this done with various cleaning fluids. One of the problems with using different cleaning fluids is, of course, if it's too strong a cleaning fluid, then potentially it's going to take all of this white lettering off as well. Now I have to say, it does seem to be working, but I think it is going to take a little bit of effort. Right, so we've been giving it about 5 minutes worth of cleaning, and we thought we'd stop to see whether it's got rid of the sticky. Now if you have a close look at the buttons now, and then you compare these buttons this side to these buttons this side, then you can clearly see that it's made a difference and it's improved quite a lot, but the surface is still sticky. So I would say we're probably about halfway in terms of getting rid of the stickiness. So I would say in terms of it being successful, maybe, maybe not. So what we might try and do is try and use some different options, some different cleaning products, and give that a try. Obviously what we don't want to do is anything that's going to take the white lettering away from the steering wheel, but we'll give that a go. So part 2, let's give it another go, and we'll try a bit more elbow grease, and then I might try a couple of other things, and I'll be back in a second and let you know how we got on. Okay, so we're now about 10-15 minutes in, and the results so far, as you can see, improving gradually. Still a little tacky here and there, but it's definitely an improvement, so it's making progress, so you could persist. We've tried a bit of WD-40, makes a mess, doesn't actually do the job. The lemonade seems to have done the job, so what we decided to do was to take it to the next level. So we have got Pepsi Max, Diet Pepsi, and Diet Coke, and we're going to try each one and see which one seems to do the best. I know they do this Pepsi challenge, don't they? This is our kind of version of the Pepsi challenge. Now, obviously, there's a danger if I open the can that it's going to get drunk by a certain somebody holding the camera before I actually get to use it. So I think we better do this one first, just to see. Now, we're using sugar-free drinks because obviously if you've cleaned it, you don't want them sugar residue to leave film. Our theory is that the lemonade we've used is a bit flat, and actually the fizz that you get is part of what helps to lift the stickiness off of the steering wheel. So, first test, not scientific really of course, is we're going to give the Pepsi Max a quick go and see if that actually helps to lift it a bit more than the regular. So we get a bit on the cloth. That's definitely got some fizz to it. That seems to be doing well, but I can't see anything much on the cloth. Let's give it a little bit more. I would have to say, actually, I think that's not doing a bad job of lifting it up. Okay, so let's move on now and let's give the Diet Coke a go and see how that goes. And we've lost the Pepsi Max out of the equation now anyway because it's getting drunk, so unfortunately that's not going to really work. So again, on the theory that the fizz has got a lot to do with it, we'll give the Pepsi Max, the Diet Coke a go now, having done the Pepsi Max. Now I'd have to say that I think did a pretty good job of lifting the sticky out of there. You do have to watch the drips that's dripping down off the steering wheel, and you've got to be careful it doesn't just drip all over your trousers. That definitely has got more of a clean sound to it now than it had before. So what I'm going to do is to reach down for a bit of a clean dry cloth, because obviously when it's wet it always feels a bit better than it is when it's dried off, and we'll see what we've got. It's improving, definitely not as sticky by a long way. So I think the thing to do there, this is just a dry cloth now, just to clean away any bits of residue. Okay, so I think it's fairly safe to say that we've got a good amount of it off. So I think in terms of looking at this, I think the thing to do is to take a close look at that set of buttons that we've had a go at versus the other side of the steering wheel and that set of buttons, where you can clearly see how sticky and tacky it still is. So I'd have to say that's fairly successful for a first go. But I think on balance, either the Diet Coke or the Pepsi Max works the best on it. provided that you've got plenty of fizz, because I think the fizz is the vital thing. So initially we tried with some just cheap supermarket owned brand lemonade out of a big bottle, and obviously when it comes out the big bottle it loses a bit of fizz. So I think we've lost some vital fizz from the equation. So there you go. So it's handy with the spanners, but we haven't really used any spanners today. So apart from not having the spanners out, another little job tackled. All I've got to do now is the rest of these other buttons, and then move on to round by the light switch, which has also got that same sticky feel, and that will be definitely a big improvement on this old Mercedes. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like the video if it's been useful for you, and also please subscribe. Subscribing is free, you're not paying for anything, you're not buying anything, but what subscribing does is make sure that you get a ping to notify you when we put a new video up, and you'll have a subscribed list when you look at YouTube that shows you the videos, so when we've got new ones in you can see them. So do subscribe and do like the video, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers for watching.